Hello, I'm Dr. Marla Shapiro, a former president of the North American Menopause Society, and I sit on the Board of Trustees, and I'm joined by a fellow member of the Board of Trustees, Dr. Nanette Santoro. Nanette, tell us what you do.
I'm the chair of OBGYN at the University of Colorado School of Medicine and run a practice in reproductive endocrinology, which includes menopause, and much of my research also is in the area of menopause.
So let's say I'm a midlife woman, and I'm beginning to notice that despite the fact that I don't think I'm doing anything differently, I'm gaining weight. Is that myth or is that real? And do I go to my healthcare provider with that?
Well, that is a very common experience because women in midlife have a decrease in their metabolic rate. The decrease can be as much as 25%. That is almost...
So say that, 25, that sounds huge to me.
It is huge. And I've lived the dream, so I know of what I speak. But a 25% drop in metabolic rate means that yes, you can run as fast as you can, and you won't stay in the same place. You will actually start to gain.
Does that mean that you have to eat 25% less and exercise 25% more?
Well, you have to do a combination of things that are going to cancel that out.
Wow.
And for some women who may have even a bigger drop, that can be very challenging because that's almost eliminating a meal.
The next common complaint as a woman is that somehow the fat seems to be taking its own journey and seems to be migrating around the middle. Is that just me, or is that common to women in perimenopause and menopause?
No, that is a very common, pretty much a universal feature of menopause and the menopause transition. And it does seem to be related to menopause, that weight will tend to migrate. And women's body shapes will change from more of the distribution of fat to the hips. It's going to move up to the waist. And it seems to be actually different fat that's doing that. And that can be very challenging, again, to combat.
So then that's the next question. Is it more than just the number on the scale? Is this fat that is now being accumulated in perimenopause and menopause a different type of fat that's more dangerous for women?
In some ways it is. And in particular for women who develop a condition that's called the metabolic syndrome. And that happens mostly in women that have maybe a history of diabetes in their family. They may have high blood pressure. If a woman has a family history like that, she is more likely to accrue or have that fat go inside her abdomen. And that intra-abdominal fat is the one that really drives insulin resistance and a tendency to diabetes. That's almost a danger signal for a woman at this point in life. That can be addressed with medication and with more effort, but that's something that should be detected.
So for midlife women who are watching this and looking to the North American Menopause Society for advice, what should they be doing and what should their expectations be?
They should be tested for diabetes, pre-diabetes, have their waist measured. That's part of the metabolic syndrome. Have blood pressure checked, have a lipid panel, cholesterol levels, look for the good and bad cholesterol levels, particularly triglycerides, and those things need to be treated. We tend to undertreat women for some of these risk factors because we think they're immune to heart disease until they're good and menopausal, but that is not the case.
Is it all depressing news, or is there some good news on the horizon for us?
We may be learning more about how this fat moves in a way that's going to help women find specific ways to attack it, because women are disproportionately affected by obesity and we don't fully understand it.
But I think a message to women listening to you is that knowing that this pattern is part of menopause, estrogen decline, that it's something that you should be aware of and perhaps have a plan of attack with your healthcare provider, be it change in what you're eating, exercise, but work collaboratively and not necessarily feel it's all doom?
Absolutely. And the number one thing that a woman can do is to maintain physical activity, maintain or even increase physical activity. In all studies, that is the thing that seems to mitigate weight gain.
So get moving.
Keep moving.
And how often?
At least 5 days a week.
30 minutes?
At least 30 minutes, and you can break it up any way you like.
So take the stairs, walk, from your car. Don't look for the parking spot right beside the mall.
Absolutely, and one of the things that we also see are that when women get injured, because we do tend to be a little more prone to be weekend warriors at this time of life and get some injuries, get back on your feet. Find an alternate activity, cross-train, so that you can maintain that physical activity and that level of fitness.
Great advice. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.